This is for my black boys love girlies. This is for all the people that want to read black male stories. These are a bunch of books that I have not read that I know are black male stories. Everything from romance to contemporary to young adult to fantasy to sci-fi. I have all of these that I have accumulated and still have not gotten to read yet. I'm gonna tell you about them category by category and hopefully recommend a book that you might be interested in picking up. And I will try to do that, I don't know, YouTube shop link situation where you'll be able to shop the books straight from the video. I just learned about that. First up is contemporary novels. First up is Songs About Boys by Brian Patrick Davis. Songs About Boys is about Sydney McKenna, who is an aspiring songwriter and hopeless romantic with an appetite for independence. And basically it is Sydney McKenna navigating the music industry and trying to find his way and become successful in the music industry. And being that the title says Songs About Boys, I'm assuming there's a lot of boys and romance in there, and him being a hopeless romantic. I'm gonna assume that there's gonna be some relationship, there's gonna be some male situations going on up in here, some boys love happening in here, but I'm looking forward to reading this. It's been a long time waiting for me to read Songs About Boys, and it sounds like it's gonna be really good. I love a good high profile story. It'll be interesting to see a story about a black gay man in the music industry, especially behind the scenes as an aspiring songwriter. I would recommend checking this book out and seeing if you would be interested in reading this. Next up, this is kind of an epic love story by Kieran Callender. This has been a long awaited read. This is a young adult romance novel, I believe. The main character is black and his love interest is, he seems Latino, but I don't know if he's Afro-Latino. He might be Afro-Latino. From the cover, it looks like he's Afro-Latino. But basically, from what I know of the story, the main character, Nate, he's scared to fall in love, but his ex-girlfriend decides to try to help him find love and hooks him up with his childhood best friend who he fell out with. It sounds kind of interesting, a little bit juicy. There's a little bit of drama, a little bit of that romance, so I'm looking forward to reading this. I've been meaning to read this for so long because it seems like a nice black male boys love romance of a story. Next up, Kings of Be-More by Eric Thomas. Although, from what I read of the synopsis, it feels like this story is like two friends that are going on a Ferris Bueller's Day Off kind of thing. I think the reason why I picked this up is because I believe, from what I heard, it's kind of a romance, male romance, boys love. It's like two friends. One of them is moving away, so they're spending the day together to have a lot of the experiences that they won't have now that one of their friends is moving away. Very Ferris Bueller's Day Off kind of style. The last sentence in the synopsis said somebody that you love, but it could either go platonic or romantic, and I'm hoping it goes romantic, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to reading this. I heard this is a really good book. I'm recommending that you check this out and see if you would be interested in reading it as much as I am. Next up in contemporary, Pritty by Keith F. Millar Jr. I remember when, right before this book came out, they had, I guess, a short film based on a scene in this story. And it was such a beautiful short film, a beautiful scene. It was very poetically filmed. I am excited to read this story. It sounds a little juicy and messy, and it seems like there's a little bit of mystery in here because the two main characters, one of their families is, I believe, in a gang that is protecting the neighborhood, but some stuff went down, so he's trying to figure out what's happened with his brother who's in the gang, his older brother who's in the gang, but also protect his friend that he has feelings for. And a whole bunch of secrets are coming out and mystery is happening from what I read in the synopsis. So I'm looking forward to reading this. And then there's the sequel to the story, Together. I need to get that sequel in my hands as soon as possible. I'm recommending that you check this book out and see if you would be interested in reading it as much as I am. And finally, in contemporary, Only on the Weekends by Dean Atta, the award-winning author of the book The Black Flamingo. I still have to read The Black Flamingo. Only on the Weekends is about Mac, who is a hopeless romantic, because a lot of black gays are hopeless romantics. His father gets a job where he has to move away, and I guess he's in a long-distance relationship with his boyfriend. Where they move to in Scotland, he meets this actor who's free-spirited, so he's navigating this new guy who's an actor on his father's, where his father works or his father's set, and then also dealing with this long distance relationship. I guess my girl got a roster. She got a cute little roster. She got one long distance and one at home who's an actor. So I'm looking forward to reading this. It's also a story written in verse. Black Flamingo was also written in verse. I was not expecting this to be written in verse, but I'm looking forward to reading it. I could definitely use something light and fluffy and a little romance drama going on. And I'm recommending this and hoping that you would be interested in reading this as well. Next up is, I don't know how to classify these, but I feel like these are drama / mystery type stories. First up, There's Only One Sin in Hollywood by Rashad Newsom. Shout out to Macmillan Publishing for sending this to me. And shout out to, I will put her Instagram handle and TikTok handle up on the screen, but she sent me the opportunity to be able to get There's Only One Sin in Hollywood by Rashad Newsom from the publishers. And I am grateful to her and I'm grateful to Macmillan for this. And I'm looking forward to reading this. I will read this for Pride this month, June 2026. It is a story about a closeted gay actor that is murdered. It's also set in the 1950s. And the studio lot fixer has to solve the murder and figure out what's going on. So I am looking forward to reading this story. I love a good high-profile romance. And it would be interesting to read a high-profile period piece. I have read high-profile kind of period piece situation because I did do that with Chances by Jackie Collins because she's written old school period piece, high-profile Hollywood Vegas type stories. I'm recommending that you check this out if you'd be interested in reading this book. As much as I am definitely going to be reading this, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see where this goes and if it gets messy. It's also kind of making me think of, although I haven't read Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, it's giving me Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo type vibes. I still need to read Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. We'll get around to that in time. And next up in the kind of mystery drama demographic is Collar Confessions by Dwight Allen O'Neill. I am looking forward to reading this. It is a story about a pastor who is living a double life where he's heading to church and he has secret urges that he is indulging in on the side. Something happens, so he's living his truth a lot more, but it might get a little messy. So I'm looking forward to reading it. I want to see how messy this story gets because it sounds like it's about to be juicy. Collar Confessions, Sharing the Man of God. Ooh, baby, you sharing the man of God. Messy, messy boots, honey. Messy, messy boots. I'm definitely recommending that you check out this book and see if you'd be interested in reading this messy boots story as much as I am. If you read it, baby, we gotta talk, because I'm here for the mess. I'm here for the messiness. Next up is the romances, the male romances that I have that I'm anticipating reading so bad. I'm looking forward to these books so much. Loving the Legend from the Chasing Ring series by Kit Gray. Ever since I heard about this book, I've been looking forward to it. It is about a pro basketball player and a veteran pro basketball player who fall in love. It sounds like it's about to be juicy and steamy and messy, and I've been on Kit Gray's website and they have illustrated cards of the characters, but they're blurred out because they're a little explicit. Baby, I'm looking forward to seeing how explicit this story gets, bitch. Sounds good, and it's two pro basketball players, baby. You know it's about to be. You know it's about to be nasty. They about to wear it the fuck out, ho. They about to wear that shit the fuck out, and I'm excited to read this. I need to get to this as soon as possible. This sounds like it's gonna be good. Funny enough, when I went on Kit Gray's Instagram page, they did like an interview with this podcast about books. And on that interview, they were interviewed with the author of Heated Rivalry at the same time because they both were writing like a male sports romance. And dare I say, I almost feel like when people talk about, oh, where's the Black Heated Rivalry? Baby, this might be Loving the Legend and its subsequent follow-up companion novel. This might be the Black Heated Rivalry. It's not necessarily going to be rivals, but it's going to be very two blame and smushing, you know what I'm saying? And they athletes, you know, so you know about to wear that shit the fuck. Baby, I'm excited to read this. I'm definitely recommending you check this out and see if you want to read it as much as I do. Because baby, I want to read this. And baby, we could talk about this one too, because I'm here for the mass, you know, I'm here for the smushing, you know what I'm saying? Next up is Cupid Calling by Viano Oniomoh. I need to read this bad. Oh my gosh, I'm looking forward to reading this. It is about 30 bachelors and one bachelorette. Basically, It is The Bachelorette, but two of the contestants, two of the bachelors, they fall for each other, and we see where the story goes from there. It sounds like it's a little messy, and it's also a little bit high profile romance too. I've heard that before where people are like, what if there's ever been two bachelors on The Bachelorette who fall in love with each other and they like run away with each other? This is the story here for me. I'm looking forward to reading this. I'm excited about this too. I'm excited about this mess right here. Viano Oniomoh, she be writing some interesting things that I'll be interested in. Yeah, I'm recommending that you check out this book and see if you would be interested in reading it as much as I do, because baby, this sounds good. Juicy as hell. Next up is the sci-fi. Black male sci-fi. Yesterday's History by Kosoko Jackson. The lead character, Andrew Cobb, he gets a liver transplant and comes to find out that his liver can teleport him back to the past, and meets the boy that lived in the house that he's living in now 50 years ago. And basically it seems that Andre has a boyfriend in the present, and then he meets the other guy in the 50s and he's falling for both of them. So now he's long distance relationship, two different men in two different time periods. Baby, messy, juicy boots. I'm here for this. This is some cute little black male romance right here. I'm here for this. I'm looking forward to reading this. But I'm recommending that you check this out and see if you want to read this messy boots book as much as I do, because baby, she sounds messy. How you got a roster in two different time periods, sister? And one in the present and one in the past? Girl, I need to read this already, damn it. The Root by Naaman Gobert Tilahun. This is sci-fi, I believe. From what it says back here, Eric is a former teen star living in San Francisco who learns that he was blooded and descended from the gods. So he's struggling with that power and can barely control it, and discovers that a secret government agency is selling off blooded people like lab rats to a rival branch of preternatural beings in Zebo. Plus, there is a alternate dimension in this story. I'm not exactly sure what's happening, but apparently a lot of stuff is happening, and I'm looking forward to it. And our lead character, he has an ex-boyfriend in jail. Sounds like you like the bad boys, girl. Sounds like you like a thug in your life. Anyway, I'm looking forward to reading The Root by Naaman Gobert Tilahun. And there's also the subsequent book called The Tree. And there was also supposed to be a third book called The Fruit, but it doesn't seem to be available online to buy, or any way that I know of to buy it. Maybe I have to reach out to the author and ask them, how can I buy the third book from you? Because this sounds like it's going to be juicy, thick, interesting, and a lot of good story in here. I'm definitely recommending that you check out this book and see if you'd be interested in reading it as much as I do. And finally, in sci-fi, Scarlet Odyssey by C.T. Rwizi is a story about this boy, Salo, who is a mystic, but in his tribe, men aren't known to be mystics. But the leader of the tribe, this queen, she doesn't mind that he's a mystic, but she decides to send him on a quest. He must go on this quest to get information about any threats towards their tribe. I believe C.T. Rwizi is a South African author, so it's gonna have a lot of African setting, African culture, and African lore. I'm looking forward to reading that. It's fantastical in here too. From what I believe, it is also sci-fi a little bit in there, but I might be wrong about that. And this probably shouldn't be in the sci-fi section, because I mean, he is a mystic. Actually, he is a Zimbabwean author who grew up in Swaziland. It might be fantasy. I might be wrong about it being science fiction. I would love to see the quest that Salo goes on. Additionally, on his quest, he will be joined by a shunned female warrior, a mysterious nomad, and a deadly assassin. Hopefully the deadly assassin or the shunned nomad might actually be his love interest in the story, because I'm gonna need a little romance. It doesn't have to have sex, but it would be cute if it had a little sex in it. But definitely, I want some romance. I want a little bit of subplot of romance in the story while we're on this little quest, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to swoon a little bit. I recommend you checking this book out and seeing if you would be interested in reading it as much as I am. And finally, the fantasy section. First up is these two books by Kai Ashante, actually. I don't know why I keep saying Kai Ashante Wilson. The Sorcerer of Wildeeps and A Taste of Honey. I started reading The Sorcerer of Wildeeps, but I realized with Kai Ashante's writing, I mean, these books are small and these are fantasy, and he does not do too much explaining. He just puts you into the world, put you there with the characters. He doesn't do too much like description, too much excessive description or explaining the setting. He just kind of says, this is the place that you're at, and these are the people, and this is them talking. The interesting thing about how they're talking in this book, because I haven't really read into A Taste of Honey too much to know what the dialogue is like. The dialogue in here, a lot of it is very much AAVE. It's so interesting because it's this rustic desert, warrior fantasy kind of story, but they talking like niggas from the hood. I found that so interesting about this story, and I'm excited to get back into it. Hopefully I fully understand it, because I started reading it once and I wasn't fully understanding it, because you're just put into the world and you have to piece things together based on context clues of what characters are saying, how the narrator is explaining, laying the story out to you. And I've heard a lot of great things about this story, about the Sorcerer of Wildeeps and A Taste of Honey. I'm recommending that you check these books out and see if you're interested in reading these as much as I am. And I have 3 Viano Oniomoh books. First up, Easy as Falling by Viano Oniomoh. This is a little, novelette, I guess. It is about a guardian angel who falls for the person, his charge, that he's supposed to be guarding. And because he falls in love with his charge, he has broken a rule, like a heavenly rule, so he might not be able to stay with his charge. He's gonna have to pay a price for falling in love with his charge. It sounds like it's gonna be cute and a little sexy, because from my understanding, Viano Oniomoh writes a little bit of spice in her stories. I'm excited about that piece. Come on. Next up, Blood, Flesh, and Magic by Viano Oniomoh. It is where a wince that works at a community center, but he also is a hopeless romantic, because the black gays are hopeless romantics. And then there is a vampire who is running a club called the Libertarian. The vampire and the wince meet each other and fall in love, but they both, do they fall in love? They both like each other. But the vampire, he's not interested in falling in love. And the wince, hopeless romantic, wants to fall in love. And that is clashing. Additionally, one of the vampires at the club Liberation is murdered, so everything goes to shit. So I'm excited to read this, and it's a thick book too, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this book goes. There's gonna be a little bit of mystery in here, there's gonna be romance, I'm sure there's gonna be sex, because I believe Viano Oniomoh puts a little smushing in there. Thanks, girl. I recommend you check this book out and see if you'd be interested in reading it as much as I am interested in reading this. And finally, the Aurora Circus by Viano Oniomoh. This is about Ember Quinn, who I believe, because I started reading this a little bit at the beginning, and from what I've read so far, Ember Quinn is a medium, and he decides to answer one of the specters' pleas and ends up in this alternate world of the Aurora Circus. And that's where he meets this circus performer named Pyro, who sweeps him off his feet. But that specter that took him to the Aurora Circus also revealed itself to be a malevolent force. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that story plays out. And I'm looking forward to seeing Ember's relationship, which is so interesting. His name is Ember and his love interest is Pyro. Fire. It's going to be a lot of fire going on in this book. I recommend you check this book out and see if you'd be interested in reading it as much as I am interested in reading it. And let me know, out of all of these books, the ones that you are interested in checking out. And I will also try to link the little shop, the YouTube shop situation, so that you'll be able to click these books and be able to shop these books for yourself. These are all of the books that I still have to read. All of the black male books that I have to read, and hopefully I will try to read all of them in this year of our Lord 2026. Now that I'm really talking about them and reading the synopsis, I'm like, bitch, I need to read these books now. They sound juicy as hell. These are the books that I need in my life right now. What am I doing? Thank you for spending your time with me, and I am out this bitch like Fleek. Shout out to Peaches. Thank you, girl.